PLG-TV 13, Matthew Fogle here, and today we have a very special guest with us in the studio today, and a contestant on NBC's The Voice, and I'm proud to call you a friend for 6 or 7 years.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dave Moisan. Dave.
Thank you so much for having me in. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's fun to do an interview with you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. It's good to see you again.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
good to see you too, yeah.
So, this is great timing on this interview today, and last night, you know, as I told you off camera, I don't really watch much of The Voice before this season, but since you're on it, I've been watching it, and it's pretty exciting to see you on there. And last night you were on there, and you were singing for Team Alicia. It looks like you all had a great time. I mean, tell us. We'll go maybe through the whole process, but last night your emotions, you're probably on cloud 9 right now.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. So first of all, the guy that I got to sing with, his name is Michael Sanchez, incredible musician, sick piano player, and has become a really close friend throughout this whole process, because what you don't see is that we spend 24/7 with each other, literally all day, every day for a long time. And so we really get to know these other contestants, and we become really, really good friends. Our wives have become friends, and so for us getting to do that song together, we literally, every time we rehearsed, had such a blast. And getting on that stage and getting to perform that, we were really like, you know, whatever the outcome, we're having fun. And it's just like, you know, it's like we're just kids playing in a basement, and then they put a big spotlight on us, and it's like, oh, all right, I guess we'll keep playing. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, emotions still reeling, and still, you know, just kind of on cloud 9 from this whole experience, and very glad that I'm getting to continue on in this journey.
Right, and that's you know, something that's you were saying, and you went down to the wire, and Alicia picked the other guy, but you got stolen.
Got stolen.
You got stolen. So now you're on Team Adam. As far as we know now. That's all you can tell us, right?
That's all, yeah. That's and I can tell you to tune in.
Right. So you can tell us what has happened, but these are pre-recorded. What we watched last night was pre-recorded. Yep. And the next round is pre-recorded. Yeah. And you know in your head that you can't tell us.
Yeah, can't tell you a word.
Okay. So in the next round is a knockout.
What I can tell you though is that this has been such a fun process. Right. It genuinely has, and I am so glad that I did it. You know, I think a lot of times fear kind of keeps us back from doing things like this, and for me, you know, at this point, I look back and I'm so glad that I was able to get past that fear and to just actually jump into this, and because it's been an incredible experience. However far I get on the show, whether, you know, I lose next round or whether I go on to win the whole show, I will always look back on this as an incredible experience. So it's been fun, and I hope the journey continues.
Now they peg you as a medical device salesman, which you are.
Sure. Yeah.
But music has been in your bones for a long time. That's how we met a long time ago, and I could tell that you've been practicing long before that.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Because I met you when Sojourn was doing, I believe, an album release or something like that at Southeast Christian Church, 2010ish or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And you rocked the stage then with a bunch of people from Sojourn. So, did you ever think that you would be, you know, doing something like The Voice?
Whew. Man, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, even 10 years ago, even literally probably like a year and a half ago, if I would have thought that I would be doing The Voice, it wouldn't have even been on my radar, honestly. It's just, I think sometimes life is just a collection of unexpected surprises that you have to walk through, and I don't think that anything is just given to you or handed to you. It's just, you know, you've got these unexpected surprises that come your way, and then it's a matter of what you do with it. And for me, I'm glad that I walked through that door, because it has always been in the back of my mind, that question, you know, the what if, you know, the little imagination box. And for me, I am so excited that I finally was like, all right, let's just explore what happens if, you know, what if. So that way, you know, 10, 20, 30 years down the road, I'm not looking back saying, well, shoot, I wonder what would have happened if I would have tried this, or if I would have tried this. You know, now it's like I'm living it, and now I'm experiencing it, and I'm so glad that I'm here because I took that chance and I took that risk, and it is nerve-wracking, it's terrifying, but it's also exhilarating and so much fun. And regardless of what happens, when I'm old, I will always have this experience where I can look back and tell my grandkids, hopefully, be like, I remember when I was a little kid.
in that exact voice.
In that exact voice. Yeah, that's how I talk when
You got to remember that. Keep this tape,
so,
and then
yeah, that's
mimic
right.
yourself.
That's right.
50 years from now. So you know, we get to see it on Monday nights and Tuesday nights for a little bit, but it's a longer process than that. So,
much longer process.
So you don't just walk in and get four chairs turned, right?
No, there was a long time. I mean, it's been going on for a while. I don't know if I can say how long, but but it's been going on for a long time. And you're literally spending 24/7 with. I mean, you have a roommate, which is cool because you get to know somebody from across the country, and you're spending all this time with these people. You're rehearsing your song. You're you know, working on arrangement, you're working on all kinds of stuff. Like, you've got a vocal coach, you've got everything. And the beautiful thing about this show is that they really do want to set you up for success. The whole environment is so positive. And that is something that I didn't really realize until I got to the show, because you always see these shows and everybody's like, oh, I love you, man, like, and you're like, ah, that's fake. But it genuinely isn't. Everybody that's a part of this show has been incredible, and the whole environment is so incredibly positive that it was actually shocking, honestly. And so yeah, it's been a long process up to this point. But one that has been an incredibly fun and enriching process as well.
Now, one that we did see that introduced you to the nation was your first performance. You come out in a blind audition, and you got 4 chairs turned. You sang a Marcy Playground song, and you knocked it out of the park.
Well,
man.
I
Of course,
appreciate that. Thank
it's
you.
got over 2 million views, maybe 3 million views on YouTube at this point. Who counts after 1 million?
Sure,
right?
yeah.
That's what we always say here on PLG. You know, just throw it out there and just give
Actually,
1
it was
views.
funny. Here's a random side comment. So the contestants, like all of the contestants, we talk and all the time, and we've got this running text message thread. And so we played this fun game where we looked for the worst possible comment on us and then texted it to the group. And so it was really fun, because you always get people making negative comments and all that kind of stuff, and that comes with it. But it was funny. We were like, oh, look at this one on me.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
it was a fun game. Yeah,
Nice.
we were all cracking each other up.
Did you expect 4 chairs to turn?
No, I didn't expect 1 chair to turn.
Really?
Honestly, I honestly didn't. Because you walk out on that stage, and imagine this setting. Literally, the only cue that you have is dead silent. The only cue that you have is those doors that are standing in front of you. They open, and nobody's like, "All right, you're on. Go ahead." It's just, and then you walk.
Right.
Dead silent. And so it is an incredibly terrifying thing, walking out there and walking up on stage. And for me, for that song, I had to start out without any intro whatsoever. And so I'm praying that I hit my first note, because I don't have any intro, and it's hard to get into a song like that quickly. You don't have any kind of warm-up or anything like that. And you don't know if you're going to turn a chair, because honestly, everybody there was incredible. We had a really fun experience sitting around the piano. Michael Sanchez, who I battled with last night, he and I were sitting at the piano, and he was playing. He's sick. He can play it, and you tell him a song and he'll play it. And so somebody would walk up, and they'd be like, or we'd be like, all right, you sing. And like, all right, what song do you want to sing? And so they'd name a song, and then they'd sing, and they would be incredible. And then somebody else, this was when we were first meeting everybody. This is how, we meet each other, and this is just off camera, just for fun. Everybody's musicians, everybody's singers. And the talent on this show is incredible. I was amazed by that. And so, going back to your original question, did I think that I would get 4 chairs? I didn't know if I would get any cheers after listening to everybody, because you hear all these people and you're just overwhelmed by the talent. And you're like, oh shoot, man, I gotta step up my game.
Right.
So yeah.
So nevertheless, you did get 4 chairs turned.
I did,
and
yeah.
I'm sure people have asked you, everybody thought you were going to go with Team Adam
Sure.
at the very beginning, but you went with Team Alicia Keys. And can you tell us why you did that?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So I went with Alicia for several reasons. First of all, I mean, she's got 15 Grammys. So she's an incredible songwriter, an incredible musician, and does really well in the pop industry. And for me, what she said really connected with me and resonated with kind of what I want to do musically. And the other thing is that, when I write, sometimes I'll write with, I like to write with a bunch of different people just to see what kind of new things I can create. And I was really excited with what she said about, sitting at the piano and making magic and, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, how can you not?
Right.
And so honestly, I did go in thinking I was going to pick Adam, or Blake, actually. Blake was a big front runner for me as well, but she surprised me with what she said, and at the end of the day, it's Alicia Keys. She's incredible, and I love her music, and so yeah, it was such a joy to work with her. On and off camera, she's awesome. She's cool, and we got to hang out and got to chat, and she was very encouraging, very supportive, and just a really cool woman. So it was a joy to work with her for sure.
And last night's performance with Michael, that was great. And they even made the statement that it seemed like a performance. It didn't seem like a battle. It seemed like a performance. And I definitely agree with that. And
I appreciate that.
It was very awesome. And people might sit at home and say, well, my cousin can sing and all this other stuff. But there's a lot of different things that are involved in that performance. I mean, they didn't know that you could harmonize as well as you can, or that other contestants can harmonize as well as they can, and things of that nature. So is that something that was hard for you, or did you really work at doing that?
It takes a lot of work, honestly. I remember when we first got the song, I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And so I sat down for hours and hours and hours and worked through every single note, every single word, every single syllable, trying to figure out how I'm going to pronounce this, how I'm going to sing it, what note to sing, what would work with Michael. I mean, I've got probably hours of recordings of Michael and I just trying different things. He and I worked together a ton because at the end of the day, what we talked about is we wanted to make it more like a duet, and that's what the show encouraged us to do, is rather than treating it like a battle, make it an awesome duet. And so we watched a ton of videos as well of amazing duets, like at the Grammys or wherever you see amazing duets. And so watched a lot of performances and just rehearsed the heck out of our song. But it was not an easy thing. It definitely took a lot of work. And the hard part about that song is trying to find both being able to express your own artistic voice in the same song. And so that was a fun challenge, trying to figure out, all right, well, how can I approach this in a way that I would artistically, but also not in a way that will be so juxtaposed to what he's doing. And he was doing the same thing. And so it was a fun project. And I'm really excited to be able to share that track with him. And actually, I woke up this morning and saw that it was charting on the iTunes charts.
Awesome.
in the top 100. So yeah, I was pretty stoked. It's wild seeing that on the charts, and it's like, hey.
Yeah, I just watched the video on YouTube. I think it's at 350,000 views already. So,
already?
yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts to me. It's like, it's still overwhelming and just an incredible experience.
Okay, so back to the present moment as far as the viewers are concerned. You're on Team Adam.
Team Adam.
And what excites you about that?
Well, I've been a fan of Maroon 5 for a long time. I love Adam's writing. I love the way he performs. I love his music. And I'm really excited to get to work with him because I do feel like we have a very similar mindset in the way that we approach music. And I'm excited to see what direction he pushes me. I'm excited to see, where we go and what we do. And, I was able to, we talk about it on the show, but I was able to hang out with him back when Songs About Jane came out, and was just a really cool dude. And so were the rest of the guys in the band. And so, yeah, I'm excited now, fast forward all these years later, to get to work with him in this capacity. And so, yeah, really excited to see what happens.
Every time I watch one of these shows, whether it be The Voice or American Idol back in the day or any of these shows, I've always thought that when it came to the live performance or even the pre-tape performance, I was like, I don't know if I could do that because I probably would get like an hour of sleep the night before. Like, is that a problem?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. So yes, the night before a show, yeah, your heart's racing, you're going, and it's hard to fall asleep. But for me, I think it was a little bit helpful because I was a swimmer and I was a competitive swimmer, and I had some experience swimming, in some pretty big meets, like U.S. Open and Nationals and stuff like that. And so some of the same nerves came out through this process, and I learned how to deal with them back then. And honestly, part of it is just disassociating yourself mentally from what is actually going on from reality, and just trying to compartmentalize so that you can actually function. Because if you let the reality of the experience get to you in the moment, then you can shut down. Or at least I would. I would completely shut down, just be like, yeah. And so, somewhat being able to disassociate yourself with the reality of what's going on, but also being able to be connected to your song, and it's a weird balance, but yeah, it is a difficult thing, and everybody talked about like, oh shoot, I didn't sleep last night, and the other thing that you don't see is that we have to wake up super early. It was super early. I mean, we had to get going at like 5, I think, 5 in the morning, because you got to go through hair and makeup. And
but that's in California, right?
Yeah, that's
You're on
right.
Eastern time, so that's 8 o'clock. So.
Well, not 8 o'clock after you've been there for a long time. It's 5 after you've been there for a long time. 5 is 5.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, I'm super excited to watch this, and the next round is the knockout round, and as we said, we can't talk about that, and I don't know. I've tried to probe you. I've tried to ask. I'm sure many other people.
Not saying a word.
Sure, many other people have too.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But after that, you can't say that what you'll do. But after the knockout round is live.
Is
right?
the live round.
So,
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll be keeping an eye on that.
Sure.
And I guess separate from The Voice, you recently released an EP as well.
Yeah, released an EP called Heavyweight, and thanks to this city and this area, and it actually charted on the iTunes pop charts as well,
nice.
which was crazy to me. That just me, an independent pop artist out of Louisville, Kentucky, is on the charts with like Bruno Mars, and it was right next to a Maroon 5 album,
nice.
And you better believe I was screenshotting that. I was like, check it out. I actually didn't even know it was charting until one of my buddies texted me. He was like, dude, you're on the charts.
Nice.
And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. And so, yeah, so released that EP, and we're actually having a show here at Headliners November 4th. Just as like a celebration of this whole thing and of the EP and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have a show, Headliners, November 4th.
Nice, and I've listened to the EP. It's very excellent. I've been listening to it on Jay-Z's app Tidal, and the album's out there. And where can they find this? Obviously iTunes and
iTunes. You can go to my website, davemoisan.com, and you can see links to everywhere. So yeah. Those 2 places.
Yeah.
And then I'm on Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But you can see all that info right on the website.
Very excellent. And as I think I texted you that right after I started listening to your album, I heard one of your songs playing at the Peebles in Bardstown. I was shopping for a belt and some shirts, and Dave Moisan over the
That's the cool
speaker,
thing
so.
about music, is once you release it, it tends to get legs of its own.
Yeah.
And it's cool where, I mean, I've had people text me like, oh, I'm in San Francisco at a Walmart and they're playing your song. And I'm like, what? Yeah, it's cool how it kind of finds a path of its own once you release it. So yeah, it's been a fun journey.
And last question, I guess, is you know, we see on camera your wife and your mother, and you have all these friends back home. You know, what's the response here?
Oh, it's been incredible. It's been overwhelming. I mean, the morning after my blind audition, I had over 200 unread text messages.
Yeah.
And so everybody has been so supportive, and I'm so glad to have everybody on this journey with me. Because I wouldn't want to do it just by myself. It's fun because this is a community thing, and it's, you know, it's not just. And I was telling this to my wife. It's not just me going through this. It's them, my family. It's everybody, and so I'm so glad that everybody gets to come on this journey with me. It is incredible the amount of support that I've gotten from this community. It's been I can't thank the community enough. So it's been incredible.
All right, so look for the EP Heavyweights by Dave Moisan, and check out NBC's The Voice, and I'll be sure to be watching as well. I'm super excited to have you in the studio today. Dave Moisan,
Thank you for having me, and I really
joining us.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a blast.